Welcome back, everyone, to Uncharted 1 on Brutal Difficulty. This is Chapter 14.
Here we go.
I don't remember what the title is, though, so apparently we're just gonna have to figure that out later. But this chapter isn't all that difficult. It's a breather chapter after the gauntlet we've just been through back in Chapter 13. There's really only one fight that's actually pretty challenging, and it's the inside of the church. But first we're going to do a little bit of platforming, a bit of traversal, and then we're going to have somewhat of a slight skirmish that can be a little bit luck-based, but I'm going to show you a little bit of a cheeky way in order to get past it. And basically what you're going to do is, after you jump across, I'm having a bit of a hard time jumping across for some strange, bizarre reason. Come on, Drake, you can jump over there. There we go. But basically, after you climb up these stairs, once you get to the top, turn right back around, come back down the stairs, and then just come back down onto this ledge. You're going to wait for all the enemies to come to you, and then basically you're just going to shoot them as they all come up and over. They generally tend to come one at a time, so you have enough time to actually get all of them before they all rush you. But the problem is that if you wait too long to shoot everyone, they will all eventually come down here and just shoot you dead. So you want to take them out pretty quickly before they can actually kill you. They might also stand back a little bit, so I'm going to try throwing a very cheeky grenade to see if I can get some of them, and I did. But that's the last guy up there, so if I can just get some bravery here, I will come up and shoot him. It'll happen, don't you worry. So I'm taking my time, hopefully I don't get nailed, and the geometry is really screwing up my aimer, but we get him eventually. And that's the end of the fight. It's not too bad. I had a couple of deaths there, but it really shouldn't stump you all that much. So we're going to pick up some ammo, pick up a D-Eagle, which I probably should have kept the M92FS, just because I think it's a much better gun overall. But from here we're going to go to the opposite end of the room. There's going to be a switch that we have to go wind up a bit by mashing the ever-living balls out of our triangle button. But after that is going to be the start of the church fight. Now the church fight, both of them actually, I find both of them to be really silly, mainly because of the fact that there really is only one spot that's all the way at the start of the room that you can sort of hide behind, but the enemies will all come to you. So there's the potential that you could get rushed and just shot down immediately. So to start with, I know I look like an idiot trying to cover trick around this, but you're not supposed to remain there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the pillar that's over there on the left. Not this one, the other one. And I'm fairly certain that this was a first attempt, actually. I did a lot better in this chapter than I thought I was going to, but from here, I'm just going to shoot this first dude. Oh no, I stealth kill him. Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to wait for him to go around a little bit more, because he's a little too close to for my comfort. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to break his neck. Now from here, this is where things kick off. So I'm just going to sit my butt right behind this pillar, and I'm just going to shoot everyone down as they come over here. Fortunately, you have a lot of time before any of the runners try to get you, so you have plenty of opportunities to shoot them all down before they kill you. The real tricky thing about this fight is triggering the second phase and still being in a proper spot to live. So I think after I shoot this dude, all the enemies are going to be dead. And then, as I try to progress forward, I go very, very slowly, because there's going to be a spawn over behind that wheel. You can sort of see over to the left, over near where that laser pointer dude is, and that's where all the enemies are going to spawn. Come on, Chris. You can get these laser dudes. As soon as they stop running around. So here, as you can see, there's a little bit of a... Oh, not. Wow, I can barely see those dudes in the preview window. Alright, now they're all dead. Jeez. So that's it for the first part. Now we're going to get about halfway up, and there's going to be a pistol that's there over on this little piece of wood here. Now as we progress upward, you see that pillar that's right in front of me? The moment we cross that, all the remaining enemies are going to spawn. So I'm going to throw a grenade and see if I can get a few of them. I don't think I get a few of them though. Oh well. I'm going to throw a couple more. Maybe I can get someone. That was a bad toss though. But as soon as I trigger those dudes, throw a couple grenades, I run my butt all the way back here, because I need to get back into that initial position that we were in at the start of the fight, because that's the safest position in this room. Or not, you could completely ignore me, as I'm trying to get a little bold here. Again, this was a first attempt. This is just the part where I'm trying to experiment with things, see if I can try out a couple of different strategies before I get the one that works, and lo and behold, it was the one that worked. And sometimes you just kind of get those runs where, you know, you just kind of do whatever the hell you feel like it, and then eventually that's just the one that works, and you're just like, huh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Especially because on my crushing run, I died there a few times, and I thought that this was going to be a little rough on brutal, but it wasn't that way at all. Which is nice. I love it when fights work out that way. But from here, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ammo, do a little bit of more exploration platforming, and from here the chapter is basically over. I don't recall there being any more fights for the rest of the level. I think there are a couple of quick skirmishes throughout, but otherwise there shouldn't be anything else in this chapter that really challenges you. So after shooting those 2 bells, the door is going to open. And from here, it's basically a straight shot to the end of the chapter.
We got all the clues right here. We can do this, kid. How the hell does he think he's gonna get that statue out of here anyway?
I know I've kind of gone a lot of parts in this game without really talking too much about the story of the game. And personally, Uncharted 1, I think is the weakest plot out of the trilogy. You know, I suppose that's unfair to Uncharted 1, because naturally it's just the first game in the series. But I find that Uncharted 2's plot is a lot better for my money. And I think now is a really good time to talk about one of the flaws that I really don't like about Uncharted 1, and it's this. Uncharted 2 and 3, both I think have more chapters than Uncharted 1. And the biggest reason I think that is, or wait, no, Uncharted 3 has the same number of chapters as Uncharted 1, my bad. But Uncharted 1 has this really, really bad habit of making it so that you will go into areas that there is physically no way that the enemy should have troops in, but yet when you go down in there, there are enemies all set up with bases, campfires, lights, just everything, all perfectly waiting for you to come down and shoot them. And I really don't like that about Uncharted 1. It kind of makes some of the firefights feel contrived, because it's like, oh, this tomb hasn't, or this area hasn't been entered in like 200 years, and yet there's like a million enemies that you have to shoot, and it's just the most silly and obnoxious thing in the world. Which is why I like Uncharted 2. Part of the reason I like it a lot more is because of the fact that it knows when to take breaks from firefights and have chapters that are just nothing but exploration and platforming. But we're just going to skip a quick scene there, and then after we do a couple more jumps and platforming, we'll be at the end of the chapter. Chapter 15 isn't going to be all that hard either. Not until we get to the graveyard at the end of the chapter, but even then, it's not going to be that hard. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day, and happy gaming, and I'll see you guys next time for when we do Chapter 15.